Nicola Sturgeon is grappling with deepening factional divides within the SNP as insiders warn disputes have got vicious. The SNP's polling success in recent months hasn't been enough to thwart internal squabbling, highlighted by the sacking of two prominent figures in the party. Last weekend, front-bench MP Neil Hanby was removed as the party's Westminster vaccine spokesman after a row with Kirsty Blackman. Mr. Hanby had backed a campaign to sue his colleague after a disagreement over transgender rights. On top of this, an SNP reshuffle led to the sacking of Joanna Cherry last week. She is another figure who has come to blows with Ms. Blackman over the issue of transgender rights. With reports also highlighting the division between supporters of Alex Salmond and Nicola Sturgeon within the SNP, insiders have indicated that the atmosphere has become vicious. This wording was used to describe the aftermath of a row between Marco Biaggi, a former MSP who ran to be selected as a candidate in this year's Holyrood elections, and SNP MP Stuart MacDonald. The two figures clashed on Twitter recently, as Mr. Biaggi sought to challenge Mr. MacDonald's ally, Angus Robertson, in the Edinburgh Central seat this May. The seat is currently held by Leader of the Conservative Party in the Scottish Parliament, Ruth Davidson. Mr. Robertson won the nomination, but only after a big bust-up in the SNP. Ms. Cherry also wanted to run for the nomination in Edinburgh Central, until a sudden rule change was handed down by the party's National Executive Committee which blocked her from standing unless she gave up her Westminster seat. Ms. Cherry withdrew, later claiming she had been hobbled by the party before Mr. Biaggi entered the race. One constituency party member told the Scotsman, "It has been vicious to be honest. People like Angus, he's very personable and they respect his abilities, but they also like Marco and know him from his time as an MSP before, and it doesn't feel like he's parachuting into the constituency." There are also a lot of people very unhappy with the way the party interfered to block Joanna from standing. It was unnecessary and cack-handed and unfortunately for Angus that has rebounded on him with many folk thinking it was done to try and ensure he won. It's easy to see why they would think that. People are really upset by what's gone on, feeling they've been manipulated. It's not what our party's about. Another local member said they had been appalled at the NEC's decision. Before his defeat, Mr. Biaggi said he believed the decision to change the rules was naive rather than malicious. For now, the SNP's internal politics haven't hampered their progress both on an election and independence front. In recent months, 20 consecutive polls have put a yes vote in a second independence referendum ahead. A data wrapper model, reported on by the New Statesman, showed polling from January 13, putting the SNP on course for 53% of the vote. The Scottish Tories and Scottish Labour languished on around 19 and 18% respectively.